Am I entering my classics era? Hello friends, my name is Oshina and I typically read contemporary Christian fiction, romance, young adult fantasy, and in this video I'm going to be reading classics. I've read several classics in the past. I'll link some videos down below from the classics that I've read if you're interested. And in this video, I'm going to be reading hopefully 3, but probably 2 classics, and I already have them picked out, and I just want to share my experience. One of them might be cheating because it's book 2, but it's Anne of Avonlea by Montgomery. So this is book 2 in the Anne of Green Gables series, and I've already read the first book. I have a video for it, so I'll link that down below. And this just continues the series, and so I know that I already like it, and I've actually already started it. I'm on chapter 4, so I'm gonna share my experience reading this book and let you know how I like it. If it's as good as the first book, I don't know, but we'll do that. And then this is the one that's like fully outside of my comfort zone, but it was a recommendation by Lauren Jean, so I'll link her down below if you want some classic recommendations. There's also, there's so many classics booktubers out there and Christian ones too, so I'm definitely not the best place to come for that, but I am also not comfortable reading them, so the ones that I do like, maybe you would like as well. So I don't know, maybe that will be useful to you, but I will be trying to read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I have heard about this book over the years. I know that it's about a man who gets his portrait done and he falls in love with the portrait of himself. And then he doesn't want to age. I don't know. That's all I know. It's very short, and so we'll see. I don't know how this author writes. I don't know. So this is the one that I could get, and then I own Anne of Avonlea thanks to Amanda from Book Lover Amanda. She bought me this book. This is just a little taste of classics for me, but it's just fun. I find it fun to read outside of my comfort zone. Even if I don't end up liking the books, it's still a fun experience for some reason. I just enjoy trying new things. And then when I'm done, I'll go back to my comfort reads, which are romance. Okay, let's get into it. You guys. Okay, page 27 of my copy. It is chapter 4. Gilbert. Oh, that is so funny. I just am laughing because the first book, I was annoyed by Gilbert just like Anne was, and now he's totally changed in the best way. Just this line is well, said Gilbert slowly, torn between his real convictions and his wish to measure up to Anne's ideal. I love Gilbert and Anne's friendship now. It's so good. And clearly Gilbert likes her, but he also knows that she's just not ready and she's not there. And I love how patient he is. It's so good. And it's totally not about that. It makes it even better. We're following Anne and her life in Avonlea. She's talking with her friends, and Gilbert is one of them. And the way that they are just hanging out together and talking, I love it. It's really sweet to see just genuine friendship being formed. Just how subtle everything is, but it really does send a strong message at the same time. And that is the kind of books that I want to read. When the message is clear but subtle. I love that. I also love really direct messages, of course. I feel like Francine Rivers is definitely more direct with what her thoughts are about issues and how she portrays them in characters. And I connect with her writing style so much for that. I'm beginning to see the value in the subtle messages. They tend to be in books that are not outrightly Christian fiction, that don't claim to be this Christian story. And yet life values and ideals and morals that we all have, they come from Jesus. They're in our hearts and in our souls and our spirits because of Jesus. I think that is what is so powerful about the subtle messages, is even if people don't realize it, that peace and that love and the goodness that they see in these books, the source is Jesus. I love it, you guys. And I'm so into this kind of story right now. This is exactly what I want to read. Even this old book that is just about Anne and everyone knows it and it's whatever, but like even these books intimidate me because I've always avoided them because I just wasn't ready to like give the time that they need. I just want to slow down and dwell with Jesus, and I feel like that's what he's calling me to. And I feel like classics are the perfect way to do that in an entertaining way as well. Like, this is a story and it's made up, but I see Jesus in the pages though. I see him in the message. What can I say? You guys. Okay, two things to say. Number one, Davy and Dora. I've been writing notes. Davy and Dora. The twins are so sweet. I love Davy so much. He adds such like a, comic relief to the story. He's definitely Anne as a little girl in boy form, and I love it. It's so entertaining. He's the sweetest. But then, like, Gilbert, come on, it's so good. The crumbs. Page 167 and 168. You guys, I don't want to read it because it's like spoiler, but what can I say? Gilbert was a schoolboy no longer, and how manly he looked. The tall, frank-faced fellow with the clear, straightforward eyes and the broad shoulders. It's so cute. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Oh yeah, on chapter 16, I think I must have missed that. Or, wait, what chapter am I on? Oh. Yeah, okay, chapter 16. I noticed that the chapter, obviously, I finished it. And I really, really enjoyed this book. I'm giving it 4 solid stars. Yes. Yeah, I'm for sure continuing the series. It was just such a delight. That's how it feels. It doesn't have a spark of 5 stars for me, but I can still really enjoy a 4-star book, and that's great. So, it is time to read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This is so outside my comfort zone. I have no idea what his writing style is like, and we're gonna find out together if I can like this book. So I'm gonna start this. When Dorian Gray sees his stunning painted portrait, he is transfixed by its reflection of his own beauty. Okay, interesting. You know what? I don't think I would like Oscar Wilde in real life. Literally, the description like quotes him. There's no such thing as a moral or an immoral book, he says. Books are well written or badly written. That is all. Yo. Okay, the preface. Ooh, written by Oscar Wilde. Okay. Oh, la la la, you guys. Hello. So, I don't know if my reading taste has evolved this much to like read this book. Just gonna be honest. But, so I read the preface of The Picture of Dorian Gray, and it's like written by Oscar Wilde, which the book is as well. And he is a man of words, Like, this is why, like, I don't want to have to work hard to like understand a book, And like, I think if I really read it really slowly and like, is he just like mad at the world? I will say, actually, this is literally just the preface. The story has not started. Thought and language are to the artist instruments of an art. I liked that. I was like, oh, that's deep. Okay. Another thing about classics is they love long run-on sentences. And sometimes those bother me. So I think I'm going to be entertained reading this, like, no matter what happens. But I don't know if I'm actually going to understand what I'm reading, Because I will admit, I left this kind of late. This is due in 2 days. And again, I could, like, just hold on to it. But I don't like doing that, I mean, it's a short book, but, like, it took me an entire evening to read the preface. And I told myself I'm reading slow, right? We're gonna go slow. I do need to read it a bit faster. Okay, so the story is actually easy to understand. I was just afraid because that preface, like, why did it have to be so poetic? I'm not like a poetry reader, you know? I do like imagery, okay? I do want to make a comment. My copy, I don't know, I'm going to be saying page numbers. Maybe chapter 1, page 7 is what I'm talking about here. I'm really curious about how this author writes about the church and faith, religion, Christianity, God, those things. So I'm going to like make note of those things only because I'm curious. Like, so listen to these lines. Look at the successful men in any of the learned professions, how perfectly hideous they are, except of course in the church. But then in the church, they don't think. A bishop keeps on saying at the age of 80 what he was told to say when he was a boy of 18. Interesting, you know? And now I need to think, is that what this author thinks? Is that just what this character thinks? I'm not going to take any like offense to anything that's said because like, why would I? I'm choosing to read this book. So like if it says things that I don't agree with, that's okay. And I'll let you guys know. I do think that when it comes to charismatic churches, I know they're accused of not thinking, but I don't agree with that. So, you know, there you go. I already don't agree. But I also think that maybe back then and even now too, like the church is definitely not perfect. It's actually quite corrupt in many ways. What did he say? The bishop? A bishop? Yeah, a bishop. They definitely could be very corrupt and they probably were just like spouting out things that they have been told. It's so sad how that happened, you know? Like when you actually think about the early church and like when you read the book of Acts and you see what the disciples were teaching and really what Paul was teaching as well in the Bible, we are not living that way, like a lot of the time, you know? Like the church in particular. Why is it so hard? But you know what? It is hard. That's the thing. That's why Paul had to write letter after letter to these churches to correct them. We are repeating the same mistakes. So it sucks. If we can, like, as a Christian collective, read the Bible, learn from history, and learn from the present time too, don't repeat that, you know? Where's the love? Where's the honesty, the integrity, the love? This is, okay, you know what? I'm okay with this. This is something. Did not expect this to be my first, like, true adult classic, you know? Still on page 7, you guys. But I wanted to show you. We shall all suffer for what the gods have given us, suffer terribly. So, lowercase g, plural gods, interesting. And yet, up here, like, the church is capitalized. This is already fascinating. Yo, I am once again shocked. What did I think classics were? I don't know. I just found them so brutally boring when I was in school. And I had zero interest. I wanted to read vampire and werewolf romances. Okay? That's what I wanted. High school, university, and now? Page 14. So the artist is like explaining what Dorian Gray means to him. The way that he is describing him, it sounds like he's definitely an idol. And then I was thinking that I'm like, sounds like you're describing Jesus right now. Like, does Dorian Gray represent? He can't represent Jesus. He must represent like idolatry. And then literally the artist says, without intending it, I have put into some expression of all this curious artistic idolatry. Dorian Gray is to me simply a motive in art. You might see nothing in him. I see everything in him. I find him in the curves of certain lines, in the loveliness and subtleties of certain colors. That's like, how attractive is this dude? And interesting that a dude is attracted to a dude like that, you know? Fascinating. This is the most fascinating conversation that I've read in a long time. Wow. Definitely don't like, is that his name? Lord Harry? He is like so cynical and like selfish. I don't like him. But this artist guy, and like, we haven't even met Dorian Gray yet. I do like how he's starting this though. He's like setting the stage for this portrait and like how much, I don't know, like impact this portrait's gonna have. And then Dorian's gonna see it and he's gonna be like, same spot, next night. I am now reading chapter 2. I basically can do one chapter a night. I'm going to continue to use the word fascinating because I just am in such new territory right now. I feel like I'm discovering literature for the first time and it's very exciting, but overwhelming. I don't know how to articulate if I like the book or not and what a rating would be. I'm literally only on page 20 in chapter 2, but I have thoughts. And that is what I like about classics and just, I guess it's classics. I don't know what else. Books that are deep and make you think. They don't outrightly say what they're trying to do. They require reflection and like deeper reading. I do enjoy that, but I'm not used to it. It's been a while. So like I went to university, I studied English. Okay. I've read classics before. I was doing an English degree to become a teacher. So I picked English classes that would like help me be a teacher rather than to like study literature for my own interest. So I didn't read a lot of like classics like this. I read a lot of like Canadian literature that isn't that good, to be honest. I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but a lot of Canadian classics are not Christian friendly, unfortunately, from what I've read. There might be some out there, but whatever. And yeah, and then I read a lot of children's literature and like children's classics. Anyways, I'm trying to explain myself because like I don't even know where I am right now. But number 1, Lord Henry. I said Harry before. It's Henry. Lord Henry Wotton. I don't agree with anything he says, but I find everything he says fascinating, and I hope we get some explanation for why he is how he is. Like, you're not born this way. You're not a child and think this way. It's modeled to you somehow, or you learn it somehow. And I want to know how. Like, how does someone get this cynical? All he said was, the aim of life is self-development. People are afraid of themselves nowadays. They have forgotten the highest of all duties, the duty that one owes to one's self. Like, what is that word? Is it humanism? The word where like you're your own God? Isn't that humanism? Oh, see, I've learned these things a long time ago, and it's been a long time since I've had to learn these terms. So English degree, get in there. And Dorian is like a sponge soaking it up, but he's also new to this point of view, and he's like, whoa, Henry. But it's like he's so fascinated and drawn to Henry, I think because of that confidence. Like, people are drawn to people that are confident. When you're not confident in who you are and what you believe, you can be influenced by people like this. Like, he even says his sins, if there are such thing as sins. So he's not a Christian, right? But like, okay, I don't intend to update every single page, but I want to at least talk about the things that are interesting to me, which I mean is everything. But okay, on page 24, so now Dorian is reflecting on what Henry has told him, what Henry believes about morality and people and temptations and wants, desires. So this is Dorian thinking, and it's just so clear that he's young and he's not thought about what he believes yet. So Henry saying these things so confidently is convincing. And yet he's also scared because he says, suddenly there had come someone across his life who seemed to have disclosed to him life's mystery. So he's like, the mystery of life, Henry solved it. Like he told me. We're so early on. How twisted are we going to get? And is it going to make me mad? Is it going to make me upset? Am I going to not like the book because of that? Like, for now, I'm like, Lord Henry would argue there's no other purpose to live except for chasing pleasures in the right now. And yet they're wrong. And to reckon with that, like for them to face that in themselves, I can't imagine. Jesus is the truth. Like, he's the actual truth that everyone's seeking. And we act like maybe there's options, that there's multiple truths to choose from, and as long as you're nice to everyone, it doesn't matter which one you pick. But that's not true. You know, like, what about when you're facing death? Like, what happens, you know? And some people say they don't care, but when you're in that moment, though, you will. How could you not? Because you're facing eternal separation from God or paradise. I don't know. I'm just like really in that right now. I'm really thinking about that right now because of everything, because of, I don't know, like just this world, my life, the books that I've been reading. Okay, so we did learn Lord Henry. His uncle sounds like just an older version of Lord Henry. I'm so fascinated by Oscar Wilde and how he thought of this story, why he wrote it. And were writers back then, they thought so deeply about society and morality. They wrote brilliant books about it. It doesn't feel like propaganda, you know? Unless maybe back then it would have felt like that and now it doesn't. I like this. Hello. Back again. Oh, I'm on page 68 now. I'm in the middle of chapter 5, I believe. Yeah. And okay, so we are now at the point where I need to decide if I'm going to do spoilers or not. Because I assume a lot of you watching this haven't read this book, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Characters are talking about Dorian Gray, and I won't say who they are just for spoiler's sake, but it is disturbing in a fascinating way, as usual. I don't know what that looked like in time lapse, but the wind closed my door and that scared me really bad. Okay, so yeah, reading this chapter, Lord Henry is the worst. Just talking about marriage in like the worst way ever, like such a sad way of viewing it. And Dorian's so excited, and also Dorian's young. Like they keep talking about being of age. So is he like 17? Yikes, again, talking about worship, you guys. Okay, so it says, I want to place her on a pedestal of gold and to see the world worship the woman who is mine. Oh my. This is crazy. Not what I expected this video to turn into, but what can I say, you know? Chapter 8, you guys. Did not see that coming. I am entertained by this, which is a weird thing to say because I don't like it. I don't like what's happening. I don't like any of the characters, but they're interesting because I just don't often read books like this, and they are representing sin, I guess, and ego, pride, shallowness. The way that it's written, it doesn't feel like it's being condoned by the author, or that the author's message is that this is a good way to live. In a way, he's just presenting something and we can make our decision. I was just like listening to the audiobook of chapter 8 and I was like, oh, when that reveal happened, like I really liked Dorian. He was like doing some self-reflecting and he was like, okay, no, I need to like fix this. And then, okay, you guys. So I was just listening to the audiobook on my drive. Chapter 11? Chapter 11, I actually don't even know what he was talking about. Dorian Gray. I thought that Lord Henry would, I don't want to spoil it too much, but I actually thought he'd be in it more, I guess, is what I want to say. Is that a spoiler? And it's Dorian now. And he is cuckoo. Like, he is so interesting because at the beginning he was idolized so much, and the way people would speak about him would be similar to like what you could say about Jesus. So like, was he a Jesus figure? And he is so not. Like, in a way, I don't know, like he represents an idol, but he himself is like an idol to himself too. And then he's just like almost, is he representing sin incarnate? I don't know. But like, I feel bad for him, but he was like something that the artist Basil put in the portrait, like brainwashed him. And it took him down this path that he didn't get off of. And Lord Henry certainly encouraged him on it. I don't know what he was talking about in chapter 11. And so we shall see what's going on. Yeah, audiobook is good. And it does alternate saying Lord Henry and Lord Harry. So they're the same person, I think. But the book only says Lord Henry. Okay. And then I will admit I had to return the book. So I have the audiobook, and then I did request the ebook, but there's a hold on it too. So I'm probably going to finish the book by audiobook. So that's going to be hard to like give updates of pages and quotes and stuff, but I'll do my best. And I did actually, I returned the book and then I re-requested it. So I put another hold on it, and I'm first in line. So hopefully it'll come in soon-ish, but like people can have it for 3 weeks, or maybe it's a 2-week one. Anyway, I'm sweating. So time to go. But there's my latest update. I like it though. It's more so just like, I don't have words for it other than like, it is interesting and fascinating, and I just don't read like this, but I don't not like it. Like I'm having a good time-ish. Like, it sucks to like see these people being so corrupt and evil, but I feel like it's saying something about humanity and idolatry, and the only true fulfillment that we can have is Jesus. And it's not saying that, but that's the conclusion I'm drawing from it. And that's what I think. So I do know that there is a video out there by some guy that like analyzed this book. So I'm probably going to watch that after, because I don't want any spoilers. I don't know anything about this book, how it ends or anything. But like, my guess is that Dorian Gray dies at the end. But I don't know. Like, or is it going to end in a kind of a terrible way, in the sense that like he just like, I don't know, gets consumed by his corruption, but he already is consumed by it. So like, what else could happen except him realizing that there's more to life than daily pleasures? I don't know. And then how you like get used to the pleasures. So you need more and more to satisfy yourself, and it'll never be enough. Like, you'll be constantly that kind of gluttony of like the constant need for pleasure, and things that pleasured you before won't anymore. So then you have to find something new. So it's not worth it. It's not going to work. So anyway, okay, I gotta go, I think. Oh no, got lots of time. But yeah, crazy. You guys, chapter 13. Did not see that coming. Hello. So I was actually going to my parents' house in the last couple of clips. That's what I was in the car for. And then my last update was I was waiting for the ferry. So I'm back because I spent the Father's Day weekend with my parents and with my dad, and I made it a long weekend for myself. So I booked Friday and Monday off. So it's now Tuesday, and I wanted to get this video up today, so you're kind of like seeing things in real time. So I have actually already finished the book, but also I bought the book. I was book shopping with my mom. I actually bought her Theo of Golden because I need her to read it, and I wanted to hold on to my copy, so I bought her own copy, and she's gonna read it this summer. But while we were shopping, I also saw this, and this is the Penguin Classics version of the Picture of Dorian Wilde. What just happened there? The Picture of Dorian Gray. I saw Oscar Wilde and I said Dorian Wilde. And I actually really liked this book, you guys. I feel like all of my updates were like, wah, la, la, you know? Now that I'm sitting with it and looking back, it's so brilliant. That's how it feels. Like, not that it's an enjoyable experience because these characters are terrible and they're doing not good things, but in a way, the message that I'm pulling from, nothing in this world will satisfy like Jesus. And I feel like that is the message that God keeps impressing upon me. And you've seen in my videos of me just trying to suss out like what is going on in my life. What does God have for me? I just feel this God has something for me and I want to explore it. I want to seek it out. Dorian Gray is just representing such distinctly human themes of self-satisfaction and sin and gluttony and pride, and I'm just like, it's brilliant. It's brilliantly written, and I feel like it's true to human nature. And that is a piece that I want to kind of dwell on a little bit, is there's books that feel like they are true to human nature and they don't make it easy. They're not easy books because the author didn't take the easy way out. They didn't make everything work out for the characters, because that's not how life works, right? And even when we have Jesus leading our lives, it doesn't mean we don't go through hardships. And I feel like sometimes Christian fiction forgets that it's a little too easily wrapped up, and it doesn't dive deep into those emotions of like, how do you actually go through trauma though and come out the other side okay? And it's only through the power of the Holy Spirit and the work of Jesus in our heart that we are okay going through hardships. But that's what I feel like some books just don't explore that when they should, because classics in particular feel so true to human nature. There's something about it, and you can still have a happy ending when it is still true. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Everything that happened in this book made sense. It was shocking at times and unexpected, but it was in line with who the characters were becoming or who they were underneath the surface. So that's what I loved about this book, honestly. And so yeah, after chapter 13, it was a pretty quick read after that. I just was like, whoa, what is gonna happen now? I thought the ending was brilliant. I really do. I think this is a brilliantly written book. No matter what Oscar Wilde believed, he still stuck to what's true of human nature and true of actual, what do you call it? Like life? Your actions do have consequences. I don't know how I'm gonna be rating classics moving forward, but for now this feels like a solid 4 stars. Like, I really enjoyed this book and I'm good with it. And I think I'm going to end it there, and so then I can edit the rest of this video and put it up for you guys. And I had a really great weekend with my family, and I just feel very refreshed. And even like this feeling that I have and looking back on this book, I'm just like, what a brilliant book. Like, it just, even though it's sad, like, I don't know what to say. I don't know if I've convinced you. Just so you know, like, if you do get offended by anti-Christian things, I guess, but I think I said this before too, it didn't feel like propaganda. It didn't feel like the author was trying to convince you that this is the better way to live, or that he was mocking Christianity. It didn't feel that way. It felt honestly true to what these kind of people would talk like related to religion and faith. And I was okay with it. Like, when it's like that, I'm okay with just kind of like from the outside looking in, observing what they're doing and kind of being assured that like, I like the choice I've made. Like, I am very sure that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and he's the one I'm gonna follow. And yeah, that is what I want to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. Yeah, I'm having a great time with these videos and with these reads, and I hope that it's encouraging you to try new things, or at least just read with an open mind, but also know yourself. Like, it's okay if this book would make you uncomfortable. Like, I'm not some elevated higher being because I like this book, you know? Follow your convictions and pray and ask God, like, is this good for me? Like, I didn't feel like this was bad for me. This book, it was good for me because it gave me a lot of compassion for people like this that are so lost and stuck in their own heads and their own ways. And then it also affirmed my own way of life, that I'm like, there is no way I would give up my life with Jesus. I'm definitely excited because I have been bored with the Christian fiction that's coming out, really with a lot of different books, even like the mainstream popular like romance or whatever literary books that are coming out that are just, they feel like propaganda. They feel like they're trying to spread this message, like the higher way of thinking. And if you think any differently than this, whatever the word is, I don't know. What am I even saying? Yeah. I think that's it. I keep saying I think that's it, and then I think of more stuff. So let's cut it off, but I'm excited to chat with you in the comments, you guys. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.